All right, what's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Rewind with Rekenya. I know it's been a minute. I've been busy. A lot has been going on. But anyway, let's get into this video. If you see my thumbnail, you already know somewhat what this is about. So, when I first saw the advertisements for the new Michael Jackson biopic, I was excited because of the close resemblance between him and his nephew, who was the son of one of his brothers, I believe Jermaine. They look alike, like a lot alike. And he's transforming into his uncle for the role. And that to me is essential when you're doing a bio. And that's why a bio like Ray is amazing. He like studied Ray Charles. He was with him. You saw him really connecting with the character. He's doing the job of acting. And that's why we still look at Leon as David Ruffin. Like, it's not the same tier, but it was up there. Okay. And even if they don't have the closest physical resemblance with like certain different features, you still can see the similarities like Angela Bassett and Tina Turner. Or even a Jennifer Lopez and Selena. But, that's another story. So, I don't know. But once they started to name the other people in the movie, that's when shit got real. Because I saw Larenz Tate cast as Berry Gordy. And I was like, you know what? Because of the height of Berry Gordy and the complexion and some of the mannerisms. And because I know that Larenz Tate can act, I was like, yeah, I see it. Like, I could see that happening. And I think that one works too. Because when you see them side by side, you can see it. But okay, that's what I'm saying. You see it. It's there. You can see the vision. But then right up under that, because, this is a significant person, especially if you're telling the Jackson 5 story. This person introduced them to the public, not who discovered them, even though you can see that in certain publications. But she didn't discover them. But this person introduced them on a big platform, her big platform, because she was a superstar. And because of that, it helped to propel them. But anyway, this person's the one and only Diana Ross, who is turning 80 years old today. When I am doing this video, I'm trying to get it uploaded before it's not her birthday anymore. But she's being played by Swedish-born actress. No, I'm sorry. It might be Sweden. It might be somewhere else. I think it's Switzerland, actually. Either way, not an African-American-born actress, Kat Graham. And this may be one of my controversial takes on some things, and I don't care. But this is my opinion, and opinions are welcome here, but this is mine because it's my channel. But I'm a bit outraged, and here's why. So as I stated, today is Diana Ross's birthday. She's turning 80. She's an icon for a bajillion reasons. I can go down a full list, which I may give a few things like on the screen. Hold on. It depends on how energetic I'm feeling when I start to edit, because I'm tired already. You can hear it in my voice. I'm a little sick. But anyway, as an icon of her stature, she gets portrayed on screen the few times that she has been, and it's really been hit or miss. And it seems like it's going more towards the miss at this point. But anyway, I can easily go with Holly Robinson Peete and the American Dreams miniseries. That was a hit. Which also went well, like with all the characters in that movie. To me, they really did great casting. And that's something else that you can see Angela Bassett. She was playing the matriarch, Katherine Jackson. A lot of people still remember her in that role. Or Joe Jackson. And I always call him Cochise. And it took me, first I was like, hello, Michael Thomas. So like, no. Lawrence Hilton Jacobs. But he was in this role of Joe Jackson. And again, people still remember him as Joe Jackson. But in this role, I'm sorry, I instantly started thinking of the other lady playing this role, and that just upset me. I'm sorry. But Holly Robinson Peete in this role, she did that. Like, she had that down pat. And it's not just because she's a great actress, but it's because a huge reason. And of course, she transformed in a way for the role, but not in a way that she had to go through too many transformations. It still was natural. She really became the character, but she had the hair and the mannerisms, and it wasn't this difficult thing to reach. Like I'm saying with I'll get to the other roles. She already had the big eyes. She already had the physical shape. She had some of the facial features, even though she didn't look exactly like her. But you knew that she was playing Diana Ross. My bad. I have a toddler, so when I know he's coming in the room, I already know my recording is not going to be up to par. So anyway, so as I was saying, you know who didn't? When they stepped on the screen, who you didn't know was Diana Ross? And this is one of my favorites from the 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010, 2020s, and probably for the rest of our lives because she may be a vampire. The one and only Miss Bianca Lawson, who also has some of a Motown connection, but that's another video. But Bianca Lawson played Diana Ross in the Temptations miniseries, and that's another great bio and another one that to me was very well cast. They really developed those characters, like you feel like those were the real people. But she did this thing. She had to introduce herself and say, "Hi, I'm Diana Ross," which instantly made me think of Small Face Man, Anthony Mackie playing Tupac, where he said, "It's me, Tupac." Like, of course, that's who you're supposed to be, but that's not who you look like in any way, including the mannerisms. So then you have to give this introduction to who you are. And all of that throws off the entire bio for me. Like, when you watch Straight Outta Compton, even though they put it on the screen who each character was, which was a great idea, they set the tone for Dr. Dre. He's sitting on the floor. He's listening to records. He's dressed like Dr. Dre in like several videos with like the cap and the jersey. And it gives me the image of like, I can see Dr. Dre like that in the videos when I was a little girl. And you can also like foreshadow a little bit because sorry, I had to take a break. Okay. But yeah, and again, it's the same thing that you have. You may get into the complexion conversation, but it's the same thing with Eazy-E. Like, you knew who he was when you saw him. And of course, that one's a little different because he had the Jerry curl. He had the exact like outfits and everything. But again, he had the mannerisms and he really got into the role. And the casting of this microfilm. So when we get back to present day, casting Kat Graham as Diana Ross. And this is no shade to her, even though it is some shade. And this may be more of that Zoe Saldana shade that I'm still feeling. And that's why, and because it's Diana Ross, and why would you play with her like that? But this is also that feeling that I'm thinking, it could be some personal stuff in here because I am a brown-skinned lady, young woman, I ain't that young no more, from Detroit, like Diana Ross, a brown-skinned girl from Detroit. And I know that it's hard to capture the essence of that unless it's like that authentic feel. We see this on some episodes of BMF also. It feels inauthentic because you're like, these people don't fit the time period, or it's the costumes. It could be just some of the mannerisms. Certain things just don't fit. And it's a certain swag that you would have. If you're from the city, that's a little biased, but whatever. But otherwise, is she just going to have on like some big lashes, a big wig, a pretty dress, and you'll be like, "Hey, I'm Diana Ross." And then it also goes with the chemistry because Michael Jackson and Diana Ross had this amazing chemistry. So Kat Graham I'm speaking of, with the actor who's playing him, Jafar, and I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing it right, Jafar Jackson, who is in full Michael Jackson mode. He's looking exactly like him in the different eras of his life, according to these pictures we've seen. Of course, this could look different on the movie, but according to these pictures, he looks like him. And I'm sorry, I don't want to put the bad shadow over it, but again, I feel the same way for the Nina Simone bio. And if you don't know about that one, Zoe Saldana played Nina Simone. Zoe Saldana is a pretty fair-skinned woman. If I'm not mistaken, she is mixed race. She's biracial. And she used a prosthetic nose and skin darkening makeup to play Nina Simone. And this was problematic in many ways because of when Nina Simone was. And when you get into some of the things that certain artists had to go through in their real life, especially when we're in our community talking about things like colorism, it can be a sensitive thing there. So you're doing kind of the opposite. You're going against that by inserting people in these roles that don't fit that experience, if I am saying that correctly. And it's okay to turn things down. Now for Kat Graham, I don't know, but for Zoe Saldana, she could have just turned that down, but it made it even worse. She was so indignant with the family that she knew what she was doing, and the movie bombed. Like, people hated it. It made no sense. And I know in Hollywood, like, it's not easy to just, not take on a role and for us to break into certain areas and anything like that. And one of my most viewed videos right now is a Little Richard video where he's at the Grammys and he's talking about not winning and how hard it is because how talented he still wasn't winning. But it's also about the integrity with the casting. So, I was trying to get not into the colorism bad, but it's just, it actually does take me back to the opposite of that. And when I was younger, people would mention this role, but Diana Ross played Billie Holiday, and Billie Holiday was a bit more fair-skinned. But in respect to that, she also just didn't have like a lot of the body type and things too. Like physically just didn't look like Billie Holiday. But I think too, because of how that movie was done, where of course it's a bio, but it was just done differently, it's become like a cult classic, even if she doesn't look just like her. And this lady sings the blues, if I didn't say that already. But, I had to be objective and just say that, whatever. Because it didn't, like when I was younger, I didn't see it. It didn't bother me. But I can see how it would. So again, I'm being objective, but, I'm trying. So I guess I can kind of close this off, though, because this part was bothering me, that Kat Graham would be playing Diana Ross, because it just doesn't make any sense. And when you have someone and you're not accurately representing them, it does feel off, especially for a bio. And even though it's not her bio, I just think it's not right. And I pray that when her bio does come, that it's truly, it's true to her and who she is. And just like her daughter Tracy posted today, because it's her birthday, about the wonderful things that she did as a mother, where they're planning their birthdays and making doctor's appointments and making them meals, getting them ready for school, even in the midst of her being this global superstar, an icon, an award-winning celebrity. And like Tracy also said, she broke glass ceilings, and she was the first to do so many things in her genre. And I just hope that she gets represented well, because this was not it. And our stars deserve their flowers, and they deserve it done correctly. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Popular media just doesn't always get it right. And I don't know, when I seen it throw it out there, I was like, Oh, I have to say, I have not seen Ain't Too Proud to Beg, or Ain't Too Proud. I'm not sure if the full title. Sorry, y'all. I ain't got all my facts. But Ain't Too Proud, I haven't seen that one. I thought on one of the posters I saw for it, because I saw what the Temptations looked like, I thought that the young woman was somewhat, representing her well. But, I could be wrong on that one. But let me know your thoughts on this casting of Kat Graham as Diana Ross in this new Michael biopic. She'll be alongside Larenz Tate, who's playing Berry Gordy, and a bunch of other people. I just really was kind of honed in on Diana because, again, it's her birthday. So happy birthday to Diana Ross. And thank you, everyone, for being so patient with me to make another video, and just for following the channel, for liking, for subscribing, and I'll be back soon. Okay, bye.